This is Radio Romania International. You are listening to our one-hour broadcast in English for listeners in Western Europe and Africa. We can also be heard on the internet at www.rri.ro, Channel 1. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and other social media platforms. Our programs are also available on TuneIn and via satellite Eutelsat 16A. On 11,512 MHz, vertical polarization, azimuth 16 degrees east. Symbol rate 29,950 megasymbols per second. Standard DVB AS2. Modulation 8 PSK. Audio PID 510. We wish you good reception conditions.
Hello, I'm your host, Elena Yanaki, bringing you the news. But first, let's take a quick look at the weather picture. It's nice and warm across the country with maximum temperatures ranging from 20 to 28 degrees Celsius. The noon reading in Bucharest was 25 degrees. And now the news, the headlines. A number of projects aimed to support underprivileged preschool and primary school children are on the government's agenda today. The new compensation and capping scheme for electricity is being discussed today by the Parliament's expert committees. And the coffin of Queen Elizabeth II was taken to Buckingham Palace on Tuesday evening. The Bucharest government is poised to curb the use of Russian antivirus and apps in central and local public institutions for fear they may be controlled by Moscow. A draft law will be discussed by the government today. Similar decisions have already been taken by countries like Germany and Italy. Kaspersky, the company producing one of the most popular antivirus solutions, will be directly affected by this measure, as all its programs will have to be uninstalled from the public IT systems across the country. Any antivirus software has access to computers and can be used as a spying tool. Many Romanian public institutions, including the Bucharest City Hall, purchased and used Russian software due to their low price. A number of projects aimed to support preschool and primary school children from underprivileged areas and to stimulate them to get good results in school are on the government's agenda today. Thus, children from 350 education units will receive a warm meal or a food box in case a warm meal cannot be provided. According to the draft emergency order, the schools and kindergartens benefiting this pilot project have been mainly selected from among underprivileged communities in geographic, economic and social terms. Its initiators say the project will prevent school dropout and strengthen the family-school ties. The new compensation and capping scheme for electricity is being discussed today by Parliament's expert committees. The new scheme is due to take effect as of September 1st. According to the emergency order, the consumption threshold for receiving the compensation has been reduced to 255 kilowatt-hour for electricity. The government thus wants to persuade people to save energy. The legal act does not bring changes in the case of natural gas for household consumers. 5 days after her death in Scotland on September the 8th, the coffin of the late Queen Elizabeth II was taken to Buckingham Palace on Tuesday evening. The coffin will be brought today to Westminster Hall, the headquarters of the British Parliament. The head of the Romanian state, Klaus Iohannis, will participate in the state funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. The custodian of the Crown of Romania, Her Royal Highness Margareta, and Prince Consort Radu will also attend the funeral service, which will be held at Westminster Abbey in London on September 19th. The day will be a bank holiday in Britain as the new monarch, Charles III, authorized on Saturday in one of his first orders. World leaders, including the President of the United States, Joe Biden, and representatives of the royal houses, are expected to attend the funeral of Elizabeth II. Meanwhile, the new king, Charles III, continues his tour around the kingdom with visits to each of the 4 nations that make up the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Romania and the Republic of Moldova plan to intensify joint efforts to mitigate the negative effects of the current context generated by the war in Ukraine, the energy crisis, the lack of material and human resources, the disruptions in the functioning of international trade chains, and galloping inflation worldwide. The statement was made in Bucharest by the Prime Minister of Romania, Nicolae Ciucă, during the forum Moldova-Romania Capital Bridges, the first high-level forum dedicated to the promotion of the capital markets on the two banks of the Prut. Romanian Defense Minister Vasile Dâncu is paying a formal visit to Israel until Friday. According to a communiqué issued by the Defense Ministry, the minister's agenda includes talks with his Israeli counterpart, formal ceremony at the Yad Vashem Memorial, the Holocaust Museum, and the Children's Memorial, as well as visits to companies in the defense industry. The two ministers will be tackling topical issues such as security in the Middle East and the Black Sea, as well as the stage and prospects of bilateral cooperation in the field of defense. On Tuesday, on the first day of his apostolic journey to Kazakhstan, Pope Francis urged dialogue and multilateralism in the face of Russia's senseless and tragic war in Ukraine. I have come here as a pilgrim of peace, seeking dialogue and unity. Our world urgently needs peace. It needs to recover harmony, Pope Francis said from the stage of the Kazakh Concert Hall in capital Nur Sultan. And that was the news.